Hello and welcome to my channel Divinely You. My name is Jennifer and today I wanted to share with you different eyeliner products that I use, and I also wanted to share with you tips and tricks to help you with your eyeliner, and all of them are beginner friendly, and I hope that this video is helpful for you. If it is, please leave that in the comments down below, and if you have any other things that you would like to see from me, please leave that in the comments below as well. Before we move on to the video, I just wanted to share with you that this will be a voiceover style tutorial, and I will be doing that because I really don't think I can do eyeliner while talking, and I don't recommend that for you either. So before we jump in, I just wanted to share this quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. She said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." And I know in times past I have not listened to that advice, and it really hasn't done me any good. But what does help me feel better about myself is knowing that I am a good person and that I truly help people. And so if you're feeling down about yourself, just remember, if you go out and serve someone, you're gonna feel much better. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. You may have noticed that I went ahead and removed all of my eye makeup, including around here, because of tip number 1. Start off your makeup by doing your eyeshadow and then eyeliner. This will help you to be able to fix mistakes much easier. And I want to jump right in with tip number 2. Make sure that you always do eyeliner before mascara to make it easier to see your lash line. For the first eyeliner technique, I'm using a pencil eyeliner. And this is the smudger end right there, and then the product is on this end. And this is probably my least favorite way of doing eyeliner, but as you can see, this has a sharpener on the end, which I struggled to get off. But this goes into tip number 3, never use an eyeliner pencil without sharpening it. Otherwise, it's difficult to get the line exactly where you want it. You can see in this shot that I was able to get somewhat of a point, but I probably should have spent just a little bit more time putting a really nice point on there because it did turn out a little bit messier. Also, make sure to grab a hand mirror that you can use at any angle that is easiest for you. And that brings us to tip number 4. Make sure that when looking in the mirror, your head is tilted slightly down. That way you can see above your lashes. This will help ensure that you don't have a gap between your eyeliner and your lashes. As you approach the inner corner of your eye, make sure that you are using the tip at a slight angle so that your line can get thinner and thinner. You definitely don't want a thick line coming right from the edge of your inner eye. Now we are moving on to liquid eyeliner. This is the Essence Waterproof Eyeliner in the shade Black. We're moving to tip number 5, always rest your elbow on a hard surface. This will help you keep a steady hand, and it'll be way easier than trying to apply your eyeliner with your elbow in the air. As you will notice for this particular liquid eyeliner, it is a felt tip pen, and I much prefer this to the brush style, because often the brushes are long and flimsy, so I recommend the felt tips for beginners. Also, you may have noticed that I started at the end of my eyelid and then it went towards the center at first. I did this because this helps me to visualize the shape that I'm going for. That brings me to tip number 6. When using a felt tip liner, always have the tip of your brush at an angle. If you use the point straight on, it's going to be a lot harder to get a smooth line. Now I'm pointing out that this section right here has started to come off as I tried to apply more because the felt tip did dry out. Now that is the downside to felt tips, is that you do have to shake them to get the product back to the tip, and then you can go back in and fix the spot where it came off. But it is just something to take note of when you are picking which eyeliner you would like to use as a beginner. However, the great news with using felt tip eyeliners is that they are very good at being precise, and you are going to be able to have a lot more control than you would be able to get with a pencil. So you can also put this on the lower lash line and then use the smudger tip to smudge it out for a smoky eyeliner look. The third technique I'm showing you is a gel liner, and this is L'Oreal Lacquer Liner in Blackest Black using my Wet n Wild angled brush. Now I'm going to be dipping my brush into the gel liner and making sure that it is completely saturated, and then I'm going to be wiping the brush along the edges to make sure that my tip is very thin and precise. Using this technique, I find that I'm able to get a much more precise winged liner, and then I'm going to take that to the outer corner of my eye and gently press where I want the wing to start and draw a line towards my eye. Then I'm going to angle up my brush a little bit more and create a small triangle and drag that toward the center of my eye. Keep in mind that if you struggle with getting symmetrical wings, try tip number 7. Use a long flat edge such as a ruler from your nose to the end of your eyebrow to create symmetrical angles for each eye. And just remember, if you have hooded eyes, you may have to adjust the angle downward just a bit. Once the wing is complete, I go ahead and go back to the center of my eye and make sure that it is a very smooth transition from my wing to the rest of the eyeliner. And I also, in looking at the very edge of my wing, decided that I wanted to go ahead and connect that down to the lower lash line. This is not a must, but it is something I do sometimes if I just want it to feel very connected. And then I go back into the inner corner and I make sure that that is a very precise, smooth line. You really want to make sure to avoid bulk right there. And then I sit back and I see if I'm happy with the job that I have done. And you will see that I have decided that I would like a more dramatic wing. Keep in mind, if you have more eyelid space than I do with my eye shape, then don't be afraid to do a dramatic look. That can be really fun on someone who has a lot more eyelid space, and especially if you have larger eyes, it can really match that level of your eyes and bring your eye look to a whole new level with a really dramatic wing. But if you're like me and you have a thinner eyelid, then you really want to make sure that you don't go too crazy with your eyeliner, because you don't want it overtaking your lid and not being able to see any eyeshadow. And just remember that practice makes perfect, so if you don't get it right the first time, don't worry about it. Just keep trying until you feel you are happy with it. Here I am showing you that there is a slight dip in my wing, and I really want it to be straight and precise. So I'm going to be using tip number 8. Use your concealer to fix eyeliner mistakes. Grab your concealer and a clean, thin brush and just dab it onto your concealer and use the wand portion to really smooth the concealer and make sure you don't have too much product. Then take that very close to the wing, making sure that you gradually move up to where you need to cover the wing. And be sure that before you do this that your eyeliner is completely dry, otherwise there will be a huge gray mess with your concealer and eyeliner mixing together. Now I'm using my fingertip to blend out the edges of the concealer, which I highly recommend if you already have face makeup. But if you have only done your eyeshadow, then you can also use the same technique with a makeup wipe to remove your mistake. For the 4th eyeliner technique, I'm going to be showing you how to use tip number 9. Use tape to create a hassle-free winged liner, but be sure to never apply the tape to your skin right off the dispenser. Use your hand to stick the tape down and pull it off, repeating until it is barely sticky. Doing this will prevent you from pulling on the delicate skin around your eyes and causing premature or additional wrinkles. Remember that you can also use this technique with any of the products I have mentioned previously. So I'm taking the tape and lining it up with my lower lash line and up to the edge of my eyebrow. And this and tip number 7 create a similar angle. So as I said in tip number 7, this does not work well for hooded eyes, and it also probably won't work if you have downturned eyes. I have both, and so this really does not work for me. But I still wanted you to see how to do this in case you have a different eye shape than me. So I'm going in with the Jaclyn Hill palette in the shade Mocha, and I'm taking my smudger brush and I'm going to be smudging out this color on the outer third of my lash line and up to about the halfway point with the tape. I'm sorry that I recorded this at the wrong angle so you can't see exactly what I'm doing, but it doesn't turn out the greatest for my eye shape anyway, so I just wanted to let you know that this really does work for some people and their eye shapes. For example, YouTuber RachhLoves does this quite often and it looks great on her. I will link one of her videos down below so you can see a successful application of this technique. For the last section of this video, I wanted to show you one more technique called tight lining. This is actually my favorite use of eyeliner pencils. So instead of using your eyeliner at the top of your lashes, you use it along the base of your lashes. Of course, be careful not to poke your eye, but once you get the hang of it, this is the fastest and easiest way to achieve the look of eyeliner without a lot of time. Also, this is a great technique if you have an uneven lash line. And also, if you want to use the same technique on your lower lash line, go ahead and do that. But if you're going to do this look, make sure that you take eyeshadow and really smudge out your bottom lash line, because otherwise it will just make your eyes look smaller. So that brings me to tip number 10. Make your eyes look bigger by using eyeshadow along the lower lash line. If you want to see an example of this, go ahead and watch my beginner eyeshadow tutorial.
Okay, that is it for this video. I hope you're enjoying this look right here because it's hilarious having all of these different techniques all mixed together on my eyes. But anyway, it was so fun to make this video for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. And I hope you have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye!